Hello, this is Dr. Loveless again, and another installment of Whiteboard Wednesday. And I thought today what I would do would be kind of an implant dentistry 101, a primer on dental implants and where they came from and how we use them today in our office. First of all, I'd like to talk about how they even came up with dental implants. It's actually a very interesting story in scientific research, because the gentleman who first saw this happen and devised the idea that an implant would work wasn't researching dental implants or even artificial hips or artificial knees. He was actually a researcher in Sweden. His name was Per-Ingvar Branamark, and he was doing research on leukemia. And as you know, if you see your steak or a cow bone or something, you know, the marrow space, which is what they wanted to study related to leukemia, once you cut a bone up, that marrow is no longer intact. And so they were trying to figure out a way that they could harvest intact bone marrow. And they were using sheep to do this. And so what they would do is they were putting aluminum cylinders into the bone marrow spaces of sheep bones, and then going in to harvest that cylinder, hoping that they had that cylinder had filled up with bone marrow. Well, what they found was when they went in to harvest the cylinders of aluminum, they couldn't get them out. They had actually adhered to the bone. And that's when Dr. Branamark all of a sudden thought, well, you know what? If metal will attach to bone, gee, we could do artificial limbs, we could do artificial joints, and even artificial teeth using metals that would adhere to the bone. Now, what that has evolved to today is surgical grade titanium that are milled into screw-like components that are inserted into a special hole in the bone, and that titanium will actually adhere to the bone. It's the exact same technology they use in artificial hips and artificial knees, where the titanium and the stainless steel rods that they put in to support those actually grows to the bone. And there's been a lot of research into the surfaces, into cements and things like that have been developed not only in orthopedics but also in dentistry. So specifically, let's talk about dental implants and the ones that we use today, which are called industrial implants. And so this particular implant style is usually round, it usually has threads on it, and it usually has a specially prepared surface that provides a medium for the bone to adhere to. And so I've got a kind of a rudimentary industrial implant here, and then here's a jawbone. So there are several different components of dental implants. You have the actual implant itself, the body of the implant, which goes into the bone. And then on top of that, you have some form of an abutment that attaches either a tooth or a prosthesis to that implant. So here, let's pretend like we're missing this tooth, the lower first molar, and we're going to put an implant in and put an artificial tooth on that. So the implant is placed into the bone, and today we use what's called a bone level implant, and that is placed in between the two teeth and usually fairly parallel to the roots. Once that's placed, we like to see that heal anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, where the implant is allowed to adhere to the bone. Now, while that implant's healing, sometimes we can just put a cover screw on it, or sometimes we'll put a little abutment that kind of comes up and you can see in the mouth just like that. So once the implant's healed and we're going to put a tooth on it, we take that abutment off and we'll do an abutment that is the attachment apparatus for the crown. And usually they look somewhat like this, and they come up inside just kind of like we'd do a crown. And then a crown is placed over the top of that, cemented into place, and you have a tooth. And it functions and acts almost exactly like a real tooth. There's some slight differences. I actually have a dental implant that has replaced one of my teeth, and I can tell you it's just like a natural tooth. Now, there are other uses for industrial implants in people who do not have teeth. So let's assume now that all your teeth have been removed at some point in time, and so all we have is a jawbone. And in the past, our only option there was to wear some sort of a complete removable prosthesis called a denture. Well, in today's world, there's several different ways that we can attach teeth to that jawbone, some that you don't take out, some that you do take out. But basically, as simple as it can get, we can put as little as one implant on one side. You'd have to have two of them, and then maybe even 4 implants in. And on top of that, one type of attachment apparatus kind of goes like this, and it's almost like a little trailer hitch that then a denture with teeth can be placed on top of, and it actually snaps into place. This has given us an option we've never had before to allow chewing efficiency to go up for someone who does not have teeth and has to wear a denture. Now, we can even go one step further than that, and one of the newer concepts we have is called a fixed hybrid denture. And the way we do that is we go in with 4 implants, 2 in the front that are straight, and then 2 in the back that are angled, and that allows us to get further back. And then teeth are attached to those implants and screwed into place so that they do not come out. When those teeth are attached, it is as close to natural teeth as we can possibly get. And as a matter of fact, there's some new research out that says you can even bite with more force using an implant retained denture than you can with your natural teeth. So I hope this helps a little bit, understanding a little bit about what implants can do to help us chew better, look better, and not go through the problems that people have with removable prosthetics.